You didn't lose willpower last night. You lost a war that was engineered against you, and the people who built the weapon knew exactly what they were doing. In the 1950s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner ran an experiment. He gave rats a lever. Sometimes pressing it gave food, sometimes nothing. The rats who got random rewards, not consistent ones, pressed the lever compulsively. They couldn't stop. 60 years later, a group of engineers in Silicon Valley read that study, and they built it into your phone. Every time you open Instagram, you pull a lever. Sometimes you win 2 likes, sometimes 200. You never know. That's the point. The average American checks their phone 96 times a day. That's once every 10 minutes. Not because they need to, because the app was designed to make the gap between checks feel unbearable. There's a term for it. Engineers call it the anxiety gap. The slight discomfort you feel when you haven't checked your phone in a while. They built that feeling deliberately. In 2017, a former VP at Facebook named Chamath Palihapitiya stood in front of a room and said something that shouldn't have been forgettable, but was. He said, "We have created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works." He said he felt tremendous guilt. Then he went home to his $1.4 billion net worth. The tools stayed. Here's what no one tells you about dopamine. Your brain doesn't just release it. It also recalibrates. Every time you get a hit, a like, a reel, a notification, your baseline shifts. The things that used to feel exciting start feeling flat. A conversation with a friend, a walk outside, a meal. They can't compete with the lever anymore. Scientists call it tolerance. It's the same mechanism as addiction. Your brain isn't broken. It was broken into. There's a study from the University of Virginia where researchers asked people to sit alone in a room for 15 minutes. No phone, no distractions, just their thoughts. 2/3 of the men in the study chose to give themselves electric shocks rather than sit in silence. Electric shocks. That's how far we've drifted from ourselves. We have become afraid of our own minds. But here's what that same research shows. The discomfort of silence fades, not after a month, not after a week. After a few days of choosing boredom, real boredom, without a screen, your brain starts to remember what it forgot. Curiosity comes back first, then creativity, then the ability to sit with someone and actually be there. You were not born distracted. You were trained to be, and anything that was trained can be untrained. The companies that built these tools are not evil. They're just optimizing for engagement, for time, for the number on a dashboard. You were never the user, you were always the product. Now you know. What you do next, that part was always yours.